Right. Uh, so, welcome all. We are all live on Facebook now, and namaste all.
Namaste.
It's a very beautiful feeling today because it's like coming together of the entire Sense22 Yoga team, and this is what actually I was looking out for since long. And this is very special because June is also the World Yoga Day, and I think it's also our way of respecting the yogis and yoginis, my way of respecting to you all. Firstly, for believing in the vision of Sense22 Yoga, one. Number two is the way you have graduated to accept and pursue yoga as one of your professions, one of your vocations, bringing a difference to everybody's life is something which I wish to deeply appreciate and respect. We all know that the ecosystem around has changed drastically. We never imagined 2 years back when we were moving around, going to restaurants, moving to places, getting a ticket and taking things for granted. But I think all the more today, we need to really define what is well-being, which is not only mental but also physical. It's also very critical that we increase these capabilities 10x to face the challenges around us. And we, as yogis and yoginis, practicing the art of and the science of yoga, can complement and supplement whatever our great medical doctors are doing today. So deep respects to all the COVID warriors who are fighting to keep humanity alive, to bringing the sense to the chaos around us. And we also need to respect that kind of work because nobody knew how to face these challenges. There was never a protocol, something which was around us. And in spite of that, we figured out how to do it. And today we know how to face challenges within no time. As yogis, as yoginis, you all have contributed tremendously to bring a sense to all the chaos around, to give a sense of courage. And one of the biggest thing, which is fear and panic, which has also taken a lot of lives in today's times. I think this is very crucial about how you have perceived this ancient science and art. You all are licensed, you all are experienced, and this particular conversation is to bring to everybody around us, whoever is listening, who will listen to us in the days to come or the time to come, as to how has been your journey, how we have made a difference to the life people who have suffered for COVID, or maybe somewhere this pandemic has taken a toll. I think this is all the conversation is all about. So I'll start the conversation by first introducing the team which is here live on the session. So first, let me introduce my close colleague Aparna, not in this kind of chronology order, but someone who has been in the team since the beginning. So it's very difficult to introduce all of you at once. So let me start with Aparna. Aparna has been a good colleague, a companion today in terms of our journey of Sense22 Yoga. She has graduated from a profession in IT to pursuing yoga full time. She has traveled, she has taken the knowledge from the gurus, and I'm sure there are a couple of questions for you today which can help our listeners to understand how to live a full life. I won't go into your certifications and all, but one thing I can tell you that she has spread the magic of yoga far and wide. She has been associated with a lot of government programs, with small groups as well as bigger groups. So, Aparna, your flow of thoughts today will help us a lot and all the listeners to face the challenges in the new ecosystem and increase the capabilities 10x. Let me introduce my good friend Renu. Renu, welcome to this session today. Renu brings in a very beautiful combination of Pilates along with Hatha Yoga and Power Yoga. She experiments a lot because today's generation also requires a lot of variety. The challenges are different every day, and I like the experimentation she brings to the table. And of course, your course on our online portal will bring a lot of young generation to you, Renu. Let me also introduce a very accomplished yogi, Sanjay Kumar Chaudhary. Sanjay ji, welcome. Sanjay has
Thank
been
you.
associated with the cultural and the embassy of our government of India. He was with a couple of missions abroad, which I think Sanjay you will share about how has been your experience, because you were part of the government program on a yoga day, representing our country, as part of our cultural ambassador. So Sanjay has been one of the highest certified yogis from the Ayush Ministry, and he's traveled far and wide and has a couple of sessions on our portal too. Let me also introduce my good friend Alberto. Alberto is from one of the renowned universities, which is known as the S. Vyasa University, Bangalore. The best part about the university is they really have proven what our ancient scriptures and sages talked about. And he is into very specific thing which is known as pranic healing, and he is a yoga therapist. So he is one person who proves that yoga is not all about asanas. There is something which is beyond, and what we all today know, that everything is energy. Even all quantum physics, everything says that even a static thing which you see around is also energy, and energy is also central to what Sense22 Yoga is all about. So welcome Alberto to the session.
Thank you.
I introduce Madhav Dange. So Madhav Dange is one of the persons who really kick-started our Sunday sessions by being the first yogi to be taking the bite. So Madhav, welcome to the session. Madhav brings in a lot of elements from his travel as an explorer. And there is one session which is known as Shakti Part, which is one of the profound transfer of energies which is done by the gurus to the shishyas. So I'm sure you will talk something about that, Madhav, in the course of our session today. So let me start with Aparna. The first question to you is, how is your feeling as a yogi, being a yogi? You were in IT, and as a yogi, what has been your experience, and can you share with our listeners today?
Sure. Thanks, Nilesh, for meeting all of us. Regarding this journey, it has been very profound. And the thing is basically like, when you are passionate about something and you do that, it reflects in each and every activity that you do. And other thing that we are so blessed that we are from that land which has actually given us this invaluable gift of Indian ancient tradition yoga. And so many times we've seen that when we ask what is yoga, many of them say it's union of body and mind. But as I started my journey, I realized that it's not just body and mind, it actually goes beyond the physical aspect. And that's how you start seeing the changes within yourself. Because it's also about your thoughts and actions. It's how about you live yoga, not only when you're on the mat, but also when you're off the mat. So it's basically totally beyond physical aspect. And once you understand that, and once you get to the point where you know that it's just you, and it's only you with whom you can control yourself. Right? You can't control other people's thoughts thinking. And doing that type of
your voice is a bit cracking, I think. There is some disturbance in the voice.
Is it better now?
Better. Yes.
Okay. So definitely going beyond the physical aspect, and it's a way of life, I would say.
Right. So, Aparna, I understand that it's beyond mat, and it's like your daily activities itself is kind of a lot of yogic practices, what we call, but something which will help us live a much more healthier life and not succumb to the diseases and challenges around us so easily. This June is also World Yoga Day, and it's a very beautiful thing to happen, because something which originated from our country today is respected and known worldwide. So you have been traveling on a yoga day. You have taken some challenges like Surya Namaskar and all. So what does a World Yoga Day mean to you personally?
Yeah. So we all are yogis, and we don't need a day to do yoga, to live yoga. But then yes, definitely having a set day for this activity, for yoga basically, it allows you to push a little bit your what you are capable of, and we as a group have decided to do 500 Surya Namaskar from today. So we have been preparing. It's not a one thing sometimes think that you just get started, so you're preparing for that in Jan. But then it's more of like, aligning yourself to that day and, setting some targets for yourself and also definitely involving others and helping them achieve their set targets. So
Right.
that's what, yeah, basically good day for me.
Perfect, perfect. So this session I told you earlier is all about respecting the profession of yogas and yoginis, how you have transcended a kind of a cushioned life of work to something to help and create an impact in society. Sanjay ji, I'm coming to you. You have been kind of practicing yoga, and you have represented the government of the people of our country. You have represented Bharat in a couple of countries. This is very important for all of us as to what is that exact feeling you had when you saw a lot of people who are not of our country practicing yoga, and how was your experience? Can you please share those?
Yeah, thanks, Shaileji. First of all, what I mean by yoga practitioner. When you become a yoga practitioner, you came to know your body and mind. You become more health conscious. You start taking care of your body, your diet, and your mind. You try to keep it fit, body, physical body, as well as your mind. Also, you get a responsibility when you become a yoga practitioner, responsible to your own body, to your family, to your friends, to your society, and all of your relatives. Because yoga is not only about the practicing of some asana or some pranayama. 2 घंटे हमने योग practice कर लिया. That is not enough. I mean to say, you need to incorporate yoga in your daily lifestyle and in your daily practice, in which you incorporate yamas. Yamas talks about ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Also, it talks niyama. Niyama says about personal ethics, that is saucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, and ishwar pranidhana. So many things are there, and you become responsible for all these things about your own, about your relatives, about your society. And then yoga provides you the complete health, complete physical, mental health. It provides harmony, peace, well-being, and many things.
I think this is a very beautiful statement, Sanjay, which I will never forget. It's like every yogi, when he becomes a yogi, he also has a responsibility towards his society, family, and friends. That's phenomenal, because I think we have seen a lot of people looking and the friend circle, influencing their habits. We know even from the school days, right? I mean, your आपकी संगत डिसाइड करते हैं कि आपके कौन सा लाइफ का चलन हो सकता है. पढ़ाई कर रहे तो पढ़ाई करेंगे, गेम्स हो तो गेम्स करेंगे. I think this is one of the beautiful aspects of yoga is that when your fitness is also very infectious. And very beautifully put, Sanjay ji, fantastic. Yeah, so Sanjay ji, could you continue our discussion on the second aspect? How, again, there's a World Yoga Day. This is very crucial. How you feel as a yogi, considering that yoga is now recognized worldwide on this particular day?
Yeah, International Day of Yoga means a lot for me, especially for me, because my career so far is very much dependent on that. First, I started yoga career 10 years before, but it changes when IDY comes in the picture. Let me talk about IDY in little brief. IDY, in that day we practice common yoga protocol. Common yoga protocol, we start practicing with Om chanting 3 times, prayer. Then we practice some Sukshma Vyayama, some asana, standing, prone posture, sitting posture, supine posture. We have some Kriya also, like Kapalbhati. Then we practice some Pranayam, Dhyana, Sankalpa, and then we end the practice with Shanti Mantra. And the beautiful part of this CYP, Common Yoga Protocol, is it is designed so beautifully that everyone can practice it in a sequence. very easy yet very effective. Now I would like to tell you about IDY, what is it and why we celebrate every year. I go
Right.
in recent history a little. The International Day of Yoga, celebrating annually on 21st June, everyone knows, and it started from 2015. This year, 2021, we are going to have 7th International Day of Yoga on 21st June. The idea of International Day of Yoga was first proposed by our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, during his speech in United Nations in 2014. And 2015, it was celebrated first time. The proposal received a broad support of 177 countries, which is the highest number of co-sponsors ever for any United Nations resolution of such nature. 21st June, if we see in the perspective of yoga, it is the longest day of the year, 21st
Wow.
June,
Right.
and shares a special significance of the world. It is the day of transition to Dakshinayana. The second full moon after this is known as Guru Purnima. And it is said Lord Shiva, the first yogi, Adi Yogi, is said to have begun the imparting the knowledge of yoga to the mankind, to the rest of mankind on this day.
Wow.
Dakshinayana is also considered a time when we can start natural. It is natural support for those pursuing spiritual practices. So keeping these things in mind, 21st June was adopted. Following the adoption of this United Nations resolution, several leaders of spiritual movement in India voiced their support for the initiative. The founder of Isha Foundation, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudevji, the founder of Art of Living, Sri Ravi Shankar, and many others lauded the efforts of Modi ji. And yoga got an official recognition by the UN and further spreaded the benefits of yoga to the entire world. The first Yoga Day, as I said, celebrated in 2015, and it was created a record for the largest number of participating nationalities. Many things about the IDY. I stop here. You continue, please.
Right, Sanjay ji, fantastic. I'm so happy. You gave a very beautiful information in a very nice summarized way about the significance of the World Yoga Day. And in fact, the element of 21st being the longest day and the transition was very, very significant for everybody to understand that there is a thought behind why 21st June as a World Yoga Day.
Right.
So absolutely great gratitude, Sanjay, for sharing this beautiful piece of information to everybody. Amazing. Yeah, Alberto, coming to you, you have been a pranic healer and yoga therapist, and the best part is you have been blessed in being the divine presence of the gurus of S. Vyasa University. We all know Swami Vivekananda is one of the his works as one of the best books to understand the real yoga. You have also been witness to how certain asanas, certain practices are scientifically been proven in the university. So as a yogi who actually pursued and graduated from the finest university, invested time and money for that, at this point of time, how you are feeling as a yogi?
Thanks for asking this question, Shailesh. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. See, all this experience help. I tell you what happened to me. If you're asking me personally, what I do, what I feel, what has happened is after all this education in yoga, after doing it practically, after practicing it with different people, while teaching, while learning, every aspect has narrowed down to one very, very important thing within me, shaping my attitude, my habits, and trying to be present in this moment. That is the objective of yoga. This practice has helped me to always be aware that I am not this body. You have your consciousness, the level of your consciousness, 24/7, 365 days. You're conscious. Even if there is something happening on the left side and you don't see there, you know what's happening. I mean to say, you can at least anticipate, you can at least try to understand what's happening. That is the level of understanding. Your consciousness level has increased so greatly. And you can also say that it's self-evolution. Every moment you evolve, you keep evolving, you keep evolving. You know what is all this thing? What are all these things? For me,
Yes.
my personal experience says that all these things is a sum of the first asana of Patanjali, sorry, the first sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. The first sutra is Atha Yoga Anushasanam. What does it mean? What I have spoken right now is all here in this statement. See, if you try to translate a sutra, it says Atha Yoga Anushasanam means now is the right time to experience yoga. Very simply put.
Wow.
But do you know
Wow.
what is the meaning of a sutra? The actual meaning of a sutra is Shailesh can have a different meaning, understanding, perception. Renu can have a different perception. Madhav can have a different perception. And Alberto can have a different perception. And nobody is wrong here. Our perceptions are based on our experience. So, what I was trying to tell you till now is the same thing. What I experience yoga as is the first sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. So just like Madhav, just like our great yogi Sanjay ji, he said that all the yoga gurus like Jaggi Vasudevan and Ramdev Baba and the Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji, all were very happy with the decision of the World Yoga Day because they know what Atha Yoga Anushasanam is. Whatever is your practice, whatever is your level, when you understand this sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, it means that now I am on this mat to practice and understand yoga hereafter. What I know is not important. What I am going to learn is more important. That is the actual meaning of Hatha Yoga Anushasanam. And that is what a yogi is experiencing every day.
Wow.
I hope I could answer your question.
Right, Alberto. I mean, of course, you have been practicing. You have been miles ahead in terms of your understanding of yoga in a very very different level. One word which I picked up, from your narrative is evolution. Because as a yogi,
Yes.
how you have evolved. I think this is very
Yes.
crucial because there is also a lot of research in yogic practice and yogic science, and one of the foremost practitioners that maybe 50 or 100 years from now we human beings will have a much more evolved human being because we have evolved over the period
Actually,
of years, but we know only that how from ape we have become a human being, but the human being has not changed so far. And I think there is one practice which can actually change to the next level of our evolution, perception, consciousness. And I think the clue may be lying in the yogic practices, because I understand one of my gurus talking to me about the pineal gland, which a lot of the
yes,
modern science said that it is a vestigial organ. But today, 60 years back, they said no, it is an organ of one of the greatest perceptions. And yogis
perceptions.
always do that. And if you, when you look at this dhyana, and at the middle point, if you look at that transaction, there is a pineal gland, which today, if we want to go to the next level of evolution, that pineal gland, if a little enlarged, well developed, what rishis measured the distance of the moon and the sun, maybe there is a clue over there. So maybe the science
Absolutely.
and practices. What do you think about it? Yes, Alberto.
You're absolutely right. If you see everything that science has, see now people say that it is the Kali Yuga, but I don't say it is the Kali Yuga, because if it was a Kali Yuga, you see from 17th century, the biggest inventions of this world have taken place after the 17th century. These inventions cannot take place in a Kali Yuga. I am very sorry to differ from the rest of the world. It is my
Right.
personal interpretation. If it was Kali Yuga, then it would not be the case. So I think that we are on the ascending stage of Dwapar Yuga. We are ascending on the ascending stage. So we have to understand why. Because Kali Yuga, definitely not. So you try to understand, you try to evaluate whatever inventions have been made till date, right from the beginning of the 17th century or even slightly before that. everything, each and everything has been mentioned in the ancient scriptures of India. The ancient
Right.
scriptures, I mean to say, if you check Vedas, if you don't understand Vedas, then there are Upanishads to simplify the Vedas. If you try to understand, and there are thousands of translations of Upanishads. If you try to understand Upanishads, you'll understand everything has been there, and every person, every character of this Indian society knew each and everything that has been invented right from the 17th century till date. We are
Right.
talking
So
about thousands and thousands of years ago.
right, right. So, Alberto, I mean, I wish to really kind of summarize for the listeners that the yogic practices not only is about asanas or the meditation part, but there are a lot of scriptures, and the Upanishads. What you say is I mean, one is the final chapters of the Vedanta. What you say, the Ant of Veda, which summarizes a lot of these things. I think this study of the scriptures is also very crucial for us to go to the next level of evolution. We
Yes,
have
yes,
heard that in
yes.
the German universities, they read not what has been done already by the great scientist, but they actually look at the Vedas to see what can be discovered next. So I think this is
Actually,
where the evolution process has to move on. So thanks so much, Alberto, for bringing those elements, which is beyond
you're welcome.
asanas, beyond meditation. That even the scriptures hold a lot of these secrets for us to evolve to the next level. So I've
They're the most
picked that
important
word of
part.
evolution. Yeah. Right, great. So I'll come back to you, Alberto, on this. So let me move to Madhav. Madhav, how is your experience? Can you share about because you bring a lot of this element of Shakti part, which very few yogis, may really understand this aspect, or maybe the seekers may understand this aspect. Can you please put some thoughts about you as a yogi, how you experience, and as a yoga day, how do you feel?
Thank you for this opportunity, Shailesh. I would be glad to say my piece in this. Uh, Alberto earlier gave his perception, as he so kindly and precisely put, his perception of the philosophy of yoga. The way I started learning was at the first stage when I was introduced to yoga. My first scripture was Shiva Yoga Sanhita. Sanjay ji said that Guru Purnima, Adi Yogi Shiva first gave out the knowledge of yoga to mankind. So Shiva Yoga Sanhita is nothing but a dialogue between Shiva and Shakti outlining what yogic life is, what precise optimum life is. Now, my perception, my philosophy in terms of yoga has two postulates. One is the multiple meaning of the word yoga. Yoga comes from Sanskrit, so it means homogeneity, it means balance, it means harmony, it means union, multiple aspects of that word. And then there's this quite an interesting term called yoga.
Okay.
Most of us must have heard it. Yoga literally means coincidence. Coincidence is collection of incidences giving you a result. Yoga is
Right.
collection of multiple yogs reaching that optimum moment. So for me, in my perception, being a yogi is being able to make this given moment, this given yoga, its optimum.
Right.
Even Alberto and
Right.
Sanjay ji also said somewhat similarly that right now, this present moment is what matters. I've heard somebody say that the past is gone, future is undecided. Right here, right now, what you have is what matters, and hence it's called a present, like a gift. Furthermore, practicing yoga, another way to look at it is anything and everything is yoga when done with awareness. Just me
Right.
being able to breathe consciously is yoga. Me being able to turn my head in either direction consciously with awareness is yoga. Me interacting with somebody consciously with principles is yoga. That is where, as Sanjay ji said, the yama and niyama come into play. How I behave with myself, how I behave with the society. So,
Right.
yoga essentially teaches a cumulative and culminative epitome of our human existence. And once you reach that stage, it is easier to further step up on the evolutionary ladder. So
Right.
right now, if I make my present moment its optimum, my next step is obviously going to be an evolution. And that is what
Right.
yoga is all about, according to my philosophy,
Right. Beautifully,
my
beautifully
understanding
put.
of yoga.
Very nice. I mean, I like the concept of yoga. We used to take it very lightly. That is all about coincidences, yoga, and now I know that there is a double whammy here. I mean, two powers of yoga, right? So yoga, very nicely put. And I think if you are one more beautiful concept, Madhav, which I captured from your narrative is, if we are focused here and now, I think the next moment is evolution. Beautifully put. I think this is one element which every listener should keep in mind, that if we are focused doing one thing at a time, I think the next thing is evolution. Is a very beautiful statement. I think I will give the credit to you and I'll say, said by Madhav. So we'll publish that. Fantastic, Madhav. I like that narrative.
Thank you,
I'll
thank
come
you.
to my good friend Renu. Renu, are you there? Yes. So Renu, I want your views because Renu experiments a lot. I like the way she gets in with Pilates, yoga, Hatha yoga, and her 5 days sessions is full of variety and excitement and learning. So Renu, can you please share with us as a what is has been your journey as a yogini?
Hi, Salesh. I think I missed out, something because there is some problem with my internet. So if you could, repeat yourself because I couldn't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Yes, yes, Renu.
Yeah.
Yes, Renu. Renu, what I understand is you bring a lot of variety to your sessions, which
Yeah.
includes even Pilates. Pilates is something which appeals to the generation today a lot, and I think there is a very nice element of Pilates in getting to the next level of your fitness. So, can you share as a yogi and a yogini as to how you actually get into Pilates and yoga and Hatha yoga? And as a yogini, how are you feeling today, creating impact to the society? And of course, what does World Yoga Day mean to you?
Okay, great.
Multiple questions.
Salesh,
Yes.
first of all, yeah, I'll
before before we lose
explain them
before
one
we
by
lose
one.
the connection again. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I would like to tell you that, as Sanjay ji and Parna and Alberto Madhav, everyone mentioned that yoga is all about lifestyle, right? Coming on the mat just for 1 hour and 2 hours and rest 22, 23 hours, you are just somewhere else. Doesn't help you at all. So it's about moderation, that don't do those very intensified asanas, intensified practice every day, but be there on the mat at least for half an hour to 45 minutes every day. So that is about doing the yoga. That is about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Okay. And about Pilates, I'll tell you, Saresh, something in layman's language. People
Yes.
feel yoga is something we'll do जब हम 50 years के हो जाएंगे, जब हम बूढ़े हो जाएंगे तो we'll do yoga. This is, if you ask 10 people, out of 10,
Yeah.
8 people will say, यार अभी age नहीं आया, now we'll go to the gym, we'll practice this. So once we are in 50, then probably we'll get into yoga. But yoga is actually a very, I would say, a difficult and an intense practice if it is done with complete awareness, right? So by the time you are in your 50s, that body, stops moving. बिल्कुल move
Hmm.
करना वो बंद हो जाएगा. So in that case, people who actually want to get into yoga, they cannot do a simple asana. I would say the forward bend, the uttanasana, right? Because
Okay.
उनका spine ही सीधा नहीं है अभी. There is a rounding in their back. So in that
Right.
case, what I do is I inculcate those Pilates movement, and these Pilates get
I think Renu, we have some issues with the connection, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. So Renu, we are losing you. We have lost. Okay. Fine. Renu, are you back? Right. So I think we'll hold for Renu to get the connection on. So I will move on to Aparna. Aparna, you have a session which we have put up on our portal, which is sense22yoga.practicenow.us. For our listeners, can you just tell what this course is all about, and that will help to understand to the listeners who will be taking this course as to what they will get out of it.
Yeah, sure, Shailesh. So we have this 21 days program, youth program, wherein we are focusing more on the flexibility, the agility, and developing the strength. So when I talk about the session, the details that will be covered in this session is you definitely start by actually connecting to the universe by doing few chants. After that, we do Sakriya or Sakriya by cleansing our body. So there is a specific sequence that is followed. First, we invoke the universe, then we do the internal cleansing technique, make our body ready. Then we do warm up, okay? And then we move on to the Surya Namaskar and Asana, wherein we actually start focusing more on strength, agility, and flexibility. And after we are done with it, then we get into the pranayama or breathing technique, wherein it's basically more about the focus is more on immunity and enhancing your immune capacity. So the breathing, the breathing technique
Is there a sound? Is there a sound issue? Can you just? I have some. It's very difficult to listen. What about Sanjay, Madhav, Albert? Can you listen to Aparna well, or is there some
There
voice
seems to
problem?
be quite a bit of an echo.
Yes, problem there. Looking.
Yeah.
Okay, is it better now? Is it better now?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
better.
better.
Yeah, I think you
Okay,
need to
okay.
be near to the microphone.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just, yeah. So first of all, invoking the universe by chanting. Then the second part is more of Shatakarma by cleansing your techniques by doing Kapalbhati. Then we move on to prepare the body by warm-ups and Surya Namaskar. And then we get into the specific asana, so developing the strength, agility, and flexibility. After that, we get into pranayama and breathing techniques, wherein the focus is more on definitely enhancing the immunity and also increasing the lung capacity because to address the current needs. And after that, then there's a relaxation session wherein we will actually go to different parts of our body and rotate our consciousness throughout the body to connect with oneself. Because when you connect with oneself, and it's not just developing the sense of oneness with yourself, but with everyone around you, and definitely with nature and Mother Earth. And that's the way then we conclude the session. So this is just a brief flow of how the session is planned. And yes, different days we have different asanas planned. And some days the focus is on core, on the spine, and sometimes on the lower body. So there are different activities and asanas that are planned throughout this 20 days.
Right. Right. Thanks, Aparna, for the overview. Thank you so much for this. Sanjay ji, coming to you, you have devised, in fact, we have devised a very beautiful course of Sanskrit in yoga. And my guru says that you need to know Sanskrit because you know the real meaning of what is written. Because many times some people tell us in Sanskrit the translation is different. We have not read the scriptures, so we tend to practice something which is not right. So, can you share your views about what this course is all about, so that the people who would like to enroll in this Sanskrit for yogis, what is this all about? Sanjay ji.
Yeah. Yes, Shailesh, on platform of Sense22 Yoga, I have two classes. One is classical yoga and second one Sanskrit. I come to Sanskrit. Before that, I tell you in 2 lines about classical yoga. classical yoga, I take yogic practices like Sukshma Vyayam, Asana, Pranayam, as per it is mentioned in traditional text, with proper precautions, contraindications, breathing sequences, also diet plan. It's a wonderful course, and sadhaka gets proper result very soon. The second, as you said, Sanskrit for yogis. It is a compact course, especially for the teachers of yoga. Anyhow, anybody can join that course. Beginners can join, or any sadhak can join the course. I have seen many yoga practitioners who cannot read or chant mantras, slokas, or sutras. However, all the yogic traditional texts or scriptures, all are written in Sanskrit. To understand them clearly or to get the real taste of them, one must know at least the basic of Sanskrit. And that is what we put in that course. Suppose a teacher, yoga teacher, is teaching a yoga practice, say Kapalbhati, and if he mentions the sloka mentioned in Hatpadipika, that is Vastra Vallohakarasya Recha Purausa Sambramo Kapalabhatir Vikhyata Kapha Dosha Vishoshan, the impact become double, and the authenticity came to it. So that is what we try to put in that course. I teach basic Sanskrit along with some important mantras, some slokas from Bhagavad Gita, how to chant mantras from Bhagavad Gita, Hatpadipika, sutras from Patanjali Yoga Darshan. So that is all about the course.
Beautiful. I think it is very important. I'm really happy with this particular. It's my personal favorite, the Sanskrit and yogis, because there is a lot of power in the mantras and shlokas, and there is a certain methodology of chanting, and this has been this is very important for all practitioners today and all the seekers of yoga today, because a lot of this fear, and thoughts and everything can be streamlined when they know how the power of these mantras and shlokas. Thank you so much, Sanjay ji, for bringing this course on the table. We look forward, that this becomes a consistent and a common feature of our courses on Sense22 Yoga. Before I go to Alberto and Madhav, let me welcome Yogini Arora. Yogini is our new member on that panel, and she's doing a very unique course this month, which is known as the course for gratitude. So welcome, Yogini.
Thank you so much, Shailesh.
Before I come to Yogini, let us hear about the course what Alberto has to bring to the table, because Alberto creates and he channelizes energy. And in this difficult ecosystem of COVID times, Alberto, I think you have a very beautiful course in 2 parts. Can you please explain what is this all about? You're on mute, Alberto.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, fantastic. Alberto, you're audible.
Yeah. This course is about prevention and rehabilitation, special. It's about COVID-19 only. How to prevent this infection and how to rehabilitate once someone is infected. Prevention is very easy. Social distancing, mask, all these we take, but still, you need to have super strong lungs to prevent COVID from infecting you. So, how will you increase the strength or the capacity of your lungs? If you pick up any science journal, published journal, you'll understand that on an average, we don't use more than 14% of the vital capacity of our respiratory system, the apparatus.
Okay.
14%, and still we are surviving. You try to imagine what happens if you develop the capacity of your lungs to 50%. I am saying you'll lose half of your ailments there only. Okay. So what I'm teaching is not what is being taught as yoga for so many years. What I'm teaching is what has been researched as Vyasa. I'm only teaching what is research based and proven. So there are 8 different techniques through which you can enhance the capacity of your lungs, increase the capacity of your lungs. If you practice this for 30 days, it's a 45-minute session, you will increase the capacity of your lungs by at least 50% of its own capacity. 100% नहीं जाओगे आप, but in a month's time you can at least go up to 50%. It's a great achievement. 50% is a great achievement. And if you continuously keep practicing it, then there is no looking back. The second part is it is enhancing the immunity. So when you enhance the immunity, you again have super strong immunity. I mean to say you will not get infected. But now there is a prerequisite for attending this course. If you have not done the part 1, then you are not eligible for this part. Because to practice this session, again, this is the research-based part only. To practice this session, you need super strong lungs. You need a capacity of more than 30 to 35%. Your lungs capacity should be more than 30 to 35%. And we are aiming at 50% in the first course. So if you don't do the first course, you're not eligible for the second course.
Got it. I mean, I really appreciate Alberto. It's kind of a serious practitioners of yoga, because a lot of people have these courses where you increase immunity in 2 hours, 2 days, 3 days. But I think very important is you follow some protocols, and that is what brings the results. Am I right on that, Alberto?
You're right. Absolutely right.
So thank you so much on this, Alberto, and we look forward for the sessions in the coming days, which is very crucial for the population today. Madhav, coming to you, your course is very mystical as well as very interesting. Can you please tell us what is it all about? And it happens in the wee late hours of the night. Yes, Madhav.
As humans, we tend to grow during a rest period. It's been true from childhood. Any conscious living organism actually grows during its rest period. Now, what if just few minutes before reaching that rest period, we are able to impart ourselves with conscious, focused energy towards that growth? If that can be a possibility, if that awareness comes in, wonderful. So that is part of the session. What we are doing are guided meditations, pre-sleep guided meditations, and Shaktipat. Now, when I use the term Shaktipat, it tends to become kind of mystical in multiple scenarios. But in simple terms, Shakti is energy, and Pat is acceptance or downward movement. Now, once you receive that, reception of that energy is Shaktipat. This course essentially allows the practitioner to open themselves up, to receive the positive vibrations throughout their sleep or throughout the rest period. That is one. The other segment of this particular session is that we are working on current situations. Reduce anxiety, reduce stress. Half the time, because of constant online presences, easy access or overabundance of electronic equipment around us, our sleep cycles become disturbed, and that leads to insomnia. We're looking to counter that as well.
Yeah, there is Madhav, there is a very nice book which is making a lot of waves. I'm sure you must have known Ikigai. Okay, it's a Japanese way of living, where they have talked about very beautiful concepts of going to sleep early, and of course then only you can get up
earlier.
I mean, you need to have a lot of rituals in place which are in tune with nature. So I think a lot of these practices are also there in our yogic texts. So Madhav, what I liked about your statement is we grow in sleep. Okay, and that's very, very beautiful. Okay, and that's very, very critical. And if you go to bed with a disturbed sleep, multiple thoughts, and anxieties and etc., I'm sure what Alberto talks about, a beautiful word called evolution, is not going to happen. And I mean, and the gurus have said that if we did not have sleep, the world would have been crazy. Anyway, the world is crazier. We all know that it's very crazy. And just imagine if you are unable to sleep well, the kind of craziest thing would have happened. I mean, it would have been a havoc if mankind was not sleeping at night. Okay, so I think Very beautiful. I think the Shakti part and the what you have talked about is we evolve and we grow when during our sleep, and we have seen even babies growing. There at that point of time, how they grow in sleep. Nice. So let
As
me.
I was saying,
Yes, yes, Madhu, you were saying something. Sorry, I cut you in.
the
So
statement that you made about the world, or rather humanity or human psyche going crazy with lack of sleep, there are
yeah,
proven studies that say that if an individual is not allowed to sleep, dementia is imminent.
yeah,
It
right.
is, the sleep requirement is to that extent. Now, it is not necessarily the concept of sleep that we use in general parlance. Even meditative state of mind, sleep essentially is an unconscious meditation. What we as yogis tend to uh, push forward, or rather tend to have the public accept, is a conscious state of sleep. So this guided meditations can also be equated with another yogic practice called yoga nidra,
Yes, yes,
the
yes,
conscious sleep, the
yes.
sleep of the yogi, the
Wow.
yoga nidra. So yeah, it is essential.
Right. So this is actually one of the favorite of all CEOs, okay, and all entrepreneurs and businessmen, because no, I don't know. I mean, there was a very beautiful web series, and the person who in the web series used to tell all his colleagues, he was a kind of an what you can say antisocial or something, who used to do a lot of crimes during the day, not on the better side of legal. ये रात को नींद आती है क्या तेरे को? रात को नींद कैसे आती है, that kind of word. But I think this yoga nidra is a very beautiful concept which you mentioned. Thank you so much, Madhav, for these insights. Let me come to Yogini, because she has been kind of waiting for long. Yogini brings a very different element to our session, and the course is she has traveled a kind of a personal journey out of depression and certain experiences. And what I liked about the Yogini's journey is she teaches what she is preaching, what she has gone through, and she has done a lot of multiple sessions, individual as well as corporates. And this particular course on Sense22 Yoga is all about something which is known as the attitude of gratitude. Right. So we all know it is one of central things in multiple aspects of yoga, Reiki, multiple things of how we live our life. But Yogini, can you put more light on what is this session all about? And yes, what elements do we see in this particular
Thank
course?
you, Sailesh ji. And I'm actually meeting the whole team for the first time, seeing all of you all here. So it is so nice to hear from all of you. And would love to know more and join some of your courses also. I mean, Yoga Nidra and, breathing sounds amazing. So, as you know, breathing, yoga, everything is so important to us. But the basic quality or human nature is compassion. Okay, we were born with compassion over the ages, over as you grow, anger and other, all these emotions have been built inside us. As a child, we were all compassionate. I didn't think when, someone entered the door, we didn't think, I don't like this person, I don't. We were playful. Whoever enjoys with us, we enjoy, we feel good with them, we appreciate those people. Over time, we build those baggages. So gratitude is something that has come into picture more now in the COVID situation, especially when we work with COVID patients. I have seen miracles happening with COVID patients just using gratitude. Because the moment you start showing gratitude to things in life, all the bad things starts to disappear because you see only the good, and that is where the whole positivity comes in. So I'm a mom of 3 kids, and I always try to teach them gratitude. And I started with a simple thing. Teacher taught you the 3 magic words. Thank you. Thank you is one of them. So you have to say thank you to everything. Whenever. So it is my children who actually taught me in this. But mama, people don't do that. The first question is, but they don't do that, you do, okay, but nobody around us does that, so why should we? So there is something that school teaches us theoretically, that yes, you should appreciate, you should say thank you, but is it practical for kids? And as a family, how many people practice? And that's where this whole concept came, and the fact that it is not as easy as telling people show gratitude. Today, if I tell someone, you know what, to get fine or live a better life, start saying thank you to everything. Say thank you to the flowers, say thank you to this one, thank you. No, it doesn't work that easy. So that's where I came up this concept that we are going to do 6 challenges in 3 weeks, and these 6 challenges are for a family, because we have to understand that emotions are not always taught. Emotions and gratitude is not taught, it is absorbed from the environment. If you are surrounded by people who are compassionate, you will be a compassionate person. If you are surrounded by angry people, you will be angry in nature. It's just a way we absorb things. So this is a whole family program where we are not going to teach gratitude at all. We are not going to tell anyone to say thank you to anyone at all. But doing these tasks, we are going to make you realize what you have. What should you be thankful about, even without using the word thank you in there. So it is going to be an amazing journey where it will be a family task. We'll be doing 6 tasks as family. There'll be fun. There'll be teams of parents and children. They are going to mark each other. They are going to give each other scores, and we will validate that every week to see if the parent team is winning or the children's team is winning. And it will be fun to, in the end, to see whether parents learn it quicker or the kids learn it quicker. We have to see who does better at that. So it's going to be a very exciting journey, and I invite all of y'all. We are in lockdown. Everybody is looking for things to do, and this is a total family fun. So definitely, I would say all the people watching here or later, do join into this program, and you will have something more to do with your kids and some memories to create. Something you will remember your lifetime.
Fantastic, Yogini. I am a strong votary that learning, it can be impactful if you do it with fun, and that is very much important, because we have seen a lot of trainers, a lot of preachers, teachers, and the best of the teachers actually have fun doing a lot of things. They have that element of humor, and we really look forward to this particular session, Yogini, and I'm really happy to have you on board to bring a very different program, which is not so normal, and you're involving the entire family. When you talked about your kids saying thank you and the school aspects, I remember. I mean, I've seen my 2 kids having 2 avatars. One in school, one at home. Okay, right. So I think this is also very important, that how you look at these avatars, and we believe that this generation is also about image. They're very good in front of different aspects and different situations. So they know this image building much earlier. That is what my friends used to say, that these guys know how to perform in front of others and parents and etc. So it is a very beautiful, complex world also. Very big task for all of us to maybe figure out how we make sense of the chaos around, and still enjoy life, to have a fuller life. All right. So
It was amazing.
yeah.
Sorry. I said it's amazing, because we as parents don't want to give everything to our children. We want the whole world at their feet. And we give it. And then we realize, oh, they don't value it. And then we stop giving for a while. And again, we are like, no, we need to give them. So it is us parents also somewhere who are like attracted to giving them the world because we can afford it today. Our parents probably, I remember, buying clothes only on Diwali. Pure saal we used to not get anything actually, Diwali was a time when you get new clothes. Our kids get it every second day, something new. So I think that's where we need to build this thing of gratitude, that you should be showing gratitude that you're getting everything, So that's where it will be beautiful to see how they grow into it.
Perfect. Right, times have changed. The times have changed. I think we need to tune in to the times. But tuning in, there is one word which you use, is compassion. Very crucial. And our gurus used to say that, if there is no love in the heart, there is no compassion in the heart, it is as equal to a crematorium, a smashan bhumi. That is how the harsh word used to use it. And I think there is divinity in every human being. And as a yogi practitioner, as all students of yoga, I think what is important is to see that divinity in every creature or every living being, and of course in every human being too. So this is very important. Nice words, Yogini. I also now want to give it to Alberto, because he's one of who has learned, the higher aspects of yoga from Swasa. Yes, Vyasa. What is your opinion about gratitude, compassion in the modern generation, Alberto? And I think in the next 10 minutes we will wrap it up. Maybe next 5 minutes. So let us have some closing remarks to give to our listeners.
Shailesh, when you get something, If you're not grateful for that thing, then you're not letting the universe know that you're not grateful. I mean to say it is very, very important. I agree with Yogini. If you're not grateful for anything that you got in life, you received in life, it is the selfish attitude aspect of yourself. I think this is not the right way to grow. If you want to grow and if you want to evolve, you have to have that gratitude and be thankful to every person in your life. I'll give you a small example. Suppose if tomorrow I go to a person and tell him that I need a help from you, please help me. And if that person says no, I don't want to help you, still I should be grateful to that person, because if he had not refused, I wouldn't try further. Maybe I can do something on my own. So gratitude is very important. Thank him for even refusing to help you. So at any given point of time or any given point of stage, someone is doing good for you or bad for you, be grateful to that person for being part of your life.
Fantastic, Alberto. I think I'm loving this conversation, and there is so much charging up doing that, because it actually breaks out the myths which we have in life, when we hold some grudges or maybe the elements of revenge or etc. I think phenomenal, very nice.
Can I interrupt? Shailesh?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, when Yogini was talking about gratitude, I recollected that in pranic healing, there is a lot of significance to gratitude. Lot of significance to gratitude. There is a forgiveness prayer. There are so many places where you need to thank and show your gratitude. Even after healing, a patient is reminded to accept the healings with thanks and gratitude. Even when I take the energy exchange from a patient, I tell the patient, I thank him with full gratitude. So without gratitude, I think gratitude is the most important part of your behavior.
Right. I think what is important is how we place this thought of music. Gratitude is often used, like a cliche terminology. But what I liked about our conversation is you have placed the different aspects of explaining gratitude in differential manner. And that is very important, because the way we understand some terms, we require to understand it much deeper and better and wider. I think this is what has made me happy about this conversation. That saying thank you to a person who was even refused. Wow, this was bang on. Fantastic. Madhav, I'm coming to you.
Shailesh, I'll add here, okay? I'll tell you this. I was working with a COVID patient on a severe NIV and ventilator situation. And there was we were really not hopeful, trust me. I told him to do gratitude and he was surprised. I told him, you know what? Just say thank you to this virus and to disease. And he's shocked. What? I said, thank him that it came at the right time, in a way that you could avail a hospital bed, in a way and a time that you could get oxygen when you need it, at a moment where you got the best doctors available. It might be creating trouble, but that doesn't mean you not be thankful to it. The moment you will start thanking, it will vanish. We did this gratitude for 2 days and his oxygen level started coming to normal. It was so powerful. We don't realize the bad we take as bad, but as Alberto sir said, bad can be good for you, and you look at the good part. That's the attitude we should create today.
Right. It's very important, because there was a very beautiful conversation by one of the finest gurus. The feeling of hatred, everything, releases also those kind of hormones which harm us, those chemicals in the body which harm us. Right. I think we are running short of time. We'll quickly summarize. I go to Madhav. Madhav, I like the way you place your words. What is your final word about your session, about yoga, today's times, and what you have to communicate to our listeners as a team?
We heard Alberto, Yogini, Aparna, even Sanjay ji, even Shailesh, your thoughts. Looking at all these together, the only addition, I might use the word, the only addition that I can say is being thankful. In order to project it outside, start within. And that is one of the first stages where yoga starts playing its role. Understanding your own body, understanding your own psyche, understanding the building blocks that make you an individual, that separate you from the so as to say, or that build you up towards your evolution. Be grateful, be thankful to yourself. In Sanskrit, Hindi, we have a term, or we have a word called Anand. Now, Anand is not happiness. Anand is bliss. To be in that eternal state of thankfulness to myself and to the rest of the universe is that state of bliss. When you are in that state, there is no requirement. You have reached a particular point whereby, okay, if I take the next step, I have evolved. That is what Anand is. So, Sat Chit Ananda. We might have heard this term Satchidananda, Satchidananda. Yeah. Sat, truth. Chitta is part of self. Anand is a blissful existence. So when you're truly blissful within your own self, when you are truly full of gratitude, full of grace, full of unequivocal happiness, that's what is required. Be thankful for the breath you take. Be thankful for every interaction that you have received. Be thankful for the mosquito that came into your room. Every moment, every aspect, there is something to be grateful for, if only you open your perception towards it.
Right, right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Madhav, for these thoughts. Aparna? Yeah, so you have been yoga.
So most of
Yeah, you have been trekking, so your fitness levels, you need to be consciously working on, right? So your thoughts, please.
Yeah, so basically talking on gratitude, all the points are covered, and one which I had to cover, Madhav, we already covered that. Let's start from self. And universe is a boomerang, so what you give it to the universe definitely comes back to you. That is one thing. And starting by thanking your breath, your body for supporting you, and also the other things like when you're stepping on a mat, thank your mat because it's there to catch you when you fall. A simple thing like thanking your phone because through that we are communicating. It remains sane throughout the session.
Right.
So focusing on each and every small aspect and then thanking and expressing the gratitude, and you see how beautifully your life starts changing and evolving.
Right.
That's what I-
Thank you very much for this flow of thoughts. Thank you for this session. In fact, it has been a very enriching discussion, and I think it's a kind of a dream state for me to be in, discussing with the yoginis and yogis and the Shakti available, who are there in front of me. And it is a very beautiful conversation we have had. I'm sure a lot of listeners who will listen to us will take home a lot of ideas and bits and pieces to fine tune the way they are seeking a fuller life. So thank you so much. It has been a terrific session, and as you said, thanking is very important, and this is a real thanks from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailesh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.